So since you brought up your father, let's talk about, did you have the discussion with him?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much for helping me out. And since we have spoken in the last conversation, and I found that I'm getting more on the control side. Control side means like when I talk and I feel like I can be having more grip on my own talk, like my own conversation. So I get more aware that how deep I need to go into this conversation, right? Or how if I go deep, I still have got the awareness that I can let myself isolated from the surface reality, like from the conditioning situation, not conditioning reality, so conditioning situation. Like, for example, if there is a debate is going on and he's debating something, or maybe if we have got an argument that I don't like or he doesn't like it, so I tend to not to react, and I tend to listen and keep myself calmer and cooler and give a pause. So I would say I honor the pause, I honor the space, right?
Great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just going to say that does sound like you are getting somewhere then, where you felt you had not been getting anywhere with your meditations, but that is a direct reflection of the work that you're doing.
Yes. I think I would say that this practice of understanding and cultivating that habit is manifesting something which is more powerful than the situation, right? So which is bigger than the situation, which is always in my favor, right? I hope you understand what I want to say. It's more deep, actually, right? It's more deep. And I'm just giving you one example, actually. When I spoke to you, since then, I 4 or 5 days ago, my mom has got a little breathing problem, because she's 73, and she has got because she has got her bigger heart operation done. Like, she has got her stents in her heart arteries, and she was not feeling stable one morning, and I took her to the hospital. And well, you will be surprised and shocked to know that when I stepped into the hospital, and doctor was very negative, like he was talking, oh my God, like, you took her too late and blah blah blah, and we are not sure, we can't promise you that she can survive, right? And he even did not start his first aid, even, like, he did not attend her properly.
Because he was viewing it as a lost cause, right?
Yeah, he was actually predicting and assuming or analyzing, I would say. But it's not analyzing, and I am 100%. So apparently he was analyzing, right? So, but I know it was not what he was analyzing. So I couldn't say like he was analyzing, right? or he was analyzing, but it was something which was putting me down more than what I was there, right?
Right.
Because my head was going chaotic all the time, because I was carrying my mom and I was carrying her, and she was really out of breath. Like I hired taxi and I went to the hospital, and all the nurses took her, really had a good care. But when the doctor came, or when I spoke to him, he was very negative. I did not pay attention to his words, what he was saying. I was just talking that it's okay. I know she will be all right, and I'll go with her healthy, and she will be absolutely brilliant, and that'll definitely work for me. Don't worry about it. And at last the doctor said, I hope so, but I hope so. I hope so. And he was not in a very passionate or very motivating way that he was. Means I was really, it was disappointing to hear from his side, but I did not take that sentences and words too personally. I did not pay a single attention. It was very, very big. It was very big exercise for me, because when you are actually onto the surface reality, when you are actually dealing with someone who was actually putting you down, right? Who is putting you down, and it's very hard to control. It's very hard to control. And because then I had that I think, I don't know from where this strength and stamina came into me, and I tried to control myself, and I tried to be into the present, and I just I did, like I told you, I did like level 2 Reiki as well. So I did not pay any attention what it was going on, because my mind was repeating the sentences, the words, the situation, and it was dragging me into something which is negative. It was so strong and intense, pulling me back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was really, really too much, because the moment I feel like it is taking me over, I started feeling like emotional darkness, emotional behavioral. I started feeling something in my body, something which is taking me down, absolutely, like, taking my blood pressure down. But I controlled it. I won the situation. I'm just telling you, like, in a short way. Sorry to taking it too long time to let you explain that, but I wanted to let you explain in the way that I felt it. Right. So then I started doing Reiki, healing, distance healing, and touch
on your
healing.
mother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was on oxygen. She was on a bed. She was with all the, machines and, all the tools and gears. And I started doing that, and it worked. Right. By the grace of universe, energy, it worked. She was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. And it happened so great. And I was so pleased. And I looked at the doctor. I didn't say anything, like I did not comment anything, because I didn't want to say to something to him, because I didn't want to offend him, like, what he said it before. Though I could have, but I didn't do that, because I know otherwise it would have been like a bounce back to me, if I would have, because obviously he's a doctor, like I know he must understand his profession in a way that being a professional doctor, if it is professional, not your responsibility to say, I think as being a human, or as being a being, it is your responsibility rather than a human, right? If I say only human, though it is physically you're human, I should not tell you, I should not give you an evidence that you're a human. But more than human, you're a being, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you must have some prime protocols or prime responsibilities to attend people in a heartedly way, rather than discouraging something straight away on the door. Like you come into my house and I start, pushing your buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I finally came out of the hospital, like it was a 5 hours, but I actually I was sitting outside of the emergency, and I was just putting myself into the calm, cool, relaxation position. Though actually I was sick on that day. I had a fever. I had a big fever. I was like, my body was totally shivering, and I was having temperature, and I was sitting on the chair. I did not have any food since morning, and I did not have any medicine. I was really sick, and I was calm and cool because I didn't want to speak anything to anyone. I think that helped. My sickness given me more strength to lift myself up. I don't know like how it worked. I couldn't explain to you.
Do you think in a way that it was connected with your mom's condition? Like as if you were trying to take on some of that, or?
No, actually my condition means, are you talking about my sickness?
Well, I mean not as in a physical sense, but in a, or kind of,
emotional connectedness.
Yeah, emotional, mental.
No
way.
So
okay.
no, I was trying to, obviously I was connected, but the physical sickness, which is I was having fever, I was sick, I was not well, was because I could not sleep previous night in a good way, and it was like a weather change and blah blah blah. I was tired. Morning when I woke up, like I had a food poisoning sort of thing.
Okay.
So I was a little dehydrated and blah blah. It happened. I did not take any food. But then emotional started. Then I tried to hold that emotional part, but physically I could not control it because unless I'm not having a medicine like a paracetamol or Panadol or something like that. So, but then my mom got really stable in the afternoon, and I had some food from outside somewhere, and it got me well, right? So I recovered myself, and I got my mother recovered, right? And I was happy, and I was really happy that I won the situation. I took out of all of the conditioning things, and I took it away, and I created a distance. And Adriana, I'll tell you one thing. It's super difficult. It's super hard. That it shook me. It shook me the whole, because my mind was like just a flick, like a turning, like a flap, the other side of the card. It's showing me, it's taking me over. Oh, I can't tell you. Like it was not a good time.
So each time that you tried to get that control back, it kept trying to push you back over.
Yeah. And now, Adriana, I'm feeling that see the talk which I'm having with you, it's really, I think it's very deep talk. It's not a talk that I can share with anyone, you know. I hope you can understand, because when I say something, you understand, because my delivery is going to you. It's direct, right? It's a direct communication. It's not that I need to give you an examples for that. If I say something, you understand, right? But you know, I can't actually express this to anyone else. I don't know why, because no one has got enough time to understand it. Everyone is chaotic, very chaotic in their life. So
have you tried?
I did.
Okay.
Like the way I'm having a talk with you, you're very, very, very passionate listener, and very compassionate listener, I would say. So you're very compassionate, because that's one of the biggest quality I think you have, that I feel deeply connected to another human being, right? Across the globe. So it was a little yeah, I try to, even like I had a two task on that day. I wanted to motivate myself, I wanted to motivate my mother, and I wanted to motivate to the doctor as well, but I couldn't, because it was out of my network, my boundaries.
So what do you think that you did differently during that time in order to stay in that place?
Only power of presence, I think. Or maybe I would say the acceptance of what it is, right?
Of the situation and what was going on.
Yes. And another on the top is relaxing yourself while parallel this is happening to you. Right? And this is another task in addition to what is happening, because only acceptance and understanding the situation is not enough unless you do not put another ingredient into that, which is a self-regulation or acceptance and relaxing your all of the internal dialogues, narratives, having a good grip, unless you're not coming out of to the hospital, you know.
So you can see how that relates to the meditation, right? Because when you're having those thoughts, you're coming to the acceptance that it's there, but not giving any emotion to it. And so when you have a situation like that, you're going to have that stuff come up, but then you have that ability to recognize it but not fall into it. Right?
Yes.
And I didn't want to interrupt your thoughts, but I did want to say earlier that, well, one, I'm really proud that you were able to do that, because that is a lot to have going on at once, and especially to be able to have that control, especially since I know that you have had that struggle, because you described your mind as chaotic I believe is the word that you used before.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud to hear that you were able to do that. And I can personally relate to having a experience with a doctor like that, because I don't really have high expectations of doctors at this point, because so many of my mom's doctors were like that. They're very pessimistic. They're very much telling you, well, these are your only options. And I don't want to say that they are intentionally trying to put you into negative thoughts, but that's what they do, regardless of what they're trying to do. And so it really is important that you take that step back, because we have at least a certain level of control over our reality. And so if we fall into that pessimism, that's only going to work toward that outcome, right? So taking that step back is what's able to allow us to help your mother recover.
Yeah. Yes. But even the surprising thing was, Adriana, he was shouting in front of my mom.
He was shouting. Wow.
Yes, he was. He was actually, because when I was asking the question repeatedly, because I wanted to confirm what is the situation, why it is not happening, why it is happening, blah, blah, so many things, because I was not getting satisfied. I was not getting happy with his answers. And he raised his voice. And my mother was on the fourth bed, like maybe 20 meters or 25 meters away, maybe, I don't know, like maybe 10 meters away. And she definitely must have, listened to what he said. And I was feeling so congested that, oh my goodness, like it's weird. It's really bad that how can you raise your voice? You can say anything to me,
but to let her hear as well.
Yeah, but you can tell me later, right? Regardless, whatever you have in your mind, say it later. You do your work, right? So what is your first priority? To tell me or to do it? You do it first, right? Set the procedure up, start your machines up, let things work, right? Unfortunately, it started working, and so I was really blessed. I was saying I was fortunate that I met the doctor, because you won't believe that, Adriana, the place I am here is, I'm not saying it's too bad, but it's a lot of traffic. It's a lot of chaos on the road. It's even I did not have any car here because my parents couldn't drive. I had to hire a taxi, and taxi took 10-15 minutes to come. Well, I could have booked Uber, but in my area, there is no Uber facility, right? Because it's a little like, there's a bigger town, but I'm little 50 kilometers away from the bigger town, where Uber, Ola, these all bells and whistles transportation does not work, right? I had to call. But imagine if by the grace of God, that did not happen so far. It won't happen. I 100%. But in case, unfortunately, something happens at middle of the night, at 1 o'clock, then how would I carry my mom?
Do they have ambulances there?
No. They have, but just it's like a no way. They are careless, not respond. Means medical facility is not, that's a good facility, but as long as you have got a very good money in your pocket.
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive, and it's paid. It's paid. And I have so far spent nearly, I don't want to say that, but I want to share with you, just as being conversation. I've spent nearly 20 grand on my mother so far, on her heart operation and stunting and all the stuff. So I don't want to lose it, my mom, because obviously it's my life, it's my, but the more I think is the good thing, I can control it. This is what actually the situation is. Sorry. So yeah, this is what it is. So I was a bit actually I didn't like, the good thing is like I couldn't let it off myself, from the conditions, and I got some good feedback, I would say, from my own behaviors. Yeah, which is a winning for me, which is a win for me. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It was just a week ago, Adriana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you noticed yourself continuing to have that same level of control since then?
Well, I think so, because now it is getting more stronger, and because once you have got the evidence that you have already won one of the match, one of the game, I think the second one would be more easy. So I'm just using a metaphor to explain you, because it's for me like, and now actually I'm more, I think I'm getting more stronger, that okay, whatever comes, I'm happy to accept it in a cool way, easy way. Yeah, it's making me more stronger, fortunately.
So have you noticed that change your just overall perspective throughout the day?
I feel yes, it is changing, because I think when I'm always like talking to you, I'm getting better, because obviously see, I would say like this is the feedback of what I have done. And see, my mom is with me now, sorry.
Okay.
So she's lying on the bed and she's telling me to turn on the fan. Yeah, so now actually I'm I'm getting like a more because I think it's a great learning, but no one actually can notice it unless you're not explaining to anyone, because I know it has the situational reality has got fear, it has got trauma, it has got your mental narratives, your internal dialogues, your future deterioration, your future insignificant manifestation, which does not have any real sense of with your current surface reality. It has got so many crap, which is all illusionary, which is all of my maybe 30 years or 32 years of my collective consciousness or collective compulsiveness, I would say, not consciousness, because consciously, if I would have collected something, definitely I will not collect scrap, right? Or if I would have consciously collected something, I would have collected something more powerful, which would have given a greater impact on my life, on my own stability. But I think every human being, including all the world, that they compulsively grab so many things which is not useful, isn't it?
Can you go into that more on what you're meaning by that?
Okay. Are you getting what I'm saying?
I think so. So are you trying to say that consciously you would only take in quality
Yes.
experiences and items that would empower you, but
Yeah.
other people take in a bunch of items and experiences just for the sake of having that experience?
Including me.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying excluding me, including
Okay.
me as well. Because obviously I'm a human and I'm living on the same planet,
But
which
you're
you are living on.
saying that is from a subconscious level?
Because of only, not because of the subconscious level, but because of perceptual activity. Because of perceptions, because God, nature has given you eyes, eyes hear sound, eyes hear, taste, smell, touch. So these, all of the perceptual activities compulsively / consciously give you what you want or what you do not want. Right?
So because we as humans like to perceive things, or are you meaning that because of our perceptions, we're not able to consciously know what it is that would empower us?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say because of your perception. So can you repeat it? What did you say? Because of your perception.
Are you trying to say that as a human, with our perceptions, we cannot understand what it is that would empower us?
Yes, because of your perception, it is a great entity, it's a great tool, or it is a great faculty which empowers you, but on the top it is so illusionary as well. Right? Whatever you see, actually it is not that thing. You need to dig out more, you need to go more beyond it, because your perceptions looks like as a tangible reality, but in more deep sense it is still illusion.
Yes.
Right? So three-dimensional reality is just because of your perceptional perception sorry I can't say that. So this three-dimensional reality is more because of your perceptual activity.
Yes.
Or because of your perceptual acceptance. Or because of your perceptions.
So the point that you're trying to make when you say that consciously you would only take in what would empower you is that our goal would be to empower ourselves, but because of our limited perceptions, we aren't able to do that, basically.
Well, yes or no. And I would say because if you say because of the limited perceptual activity, we can't be able to consciously manifest something which we want to, I would say, well, even if you say it is a limited perceptual delivery or limited perceptual information, but I would say even in limited perceptual delivery or incoming, you still not have proper consciousness. You do not have still the intensity of awareness that you still can grab that the full perceptual delivery into full conscious manifestation. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if you see, for example, you see like if you from the day you wake up 6 o'clock to the night you go to bed at 10 o'clock, let's say you come across through 60,000 objects, right?
Okay.
So in 60,000 objects, how many objects or how many sounds or how many things you do it consciously? Because whatever you do it consciously is going to help you and gives you a manifestation which you actually want in your life. Because compulsively it won't happen. Like, for example, if you drive a car, or when you start learning a car, you step into the car consciously. You step into the second step, you handle your steering and you control your steering consciously. Every single step you learn, that is from your consciousness, right? And through perception, so through perceptual activities, because your perceptions are helpful. So I want to say that even perceptual activities are giving us so many things, but most of the things we are taking it compulsively, not consciously. Like we go across, we do not notice so many things on the road. We do not notice what's happening around us, right? So many beautiful things are happening, but we are actually living our mind. We are not living the life.
If I go back to the quantum physics discussions, which I know that you said you didn't really know much about it, but so I don't know enough about quantum physics to say this is a exact true statement, but what I believe from that information is that, so if you are walking down the road, right, and there's a tree, but you don't see the tree, okay, well, there might be someone else that sees that tree or animals that would see that tree, but pretend that you are isolated and it's just you and you don't see the tree. For the moment of you passing by that tree and not seeing it, that tree doesn't exist because no one is observing the tree. So because everything is an illusion, if someone else sees the tree can exist for them, but the tree wouldn't exist for you. So in a way, even just us observing and choosing what to observe and what not to observe is a form of manifestation, because our perception of something is what creates it.
Perception creates it, and consciousness manifests it.
That is a very great quote.
Because without consciousness, there is no manifestation.
Right. So, well, you would create it, but because of it not coming from a conscious state, it would have a different meaning to you. So that would be the difference between manifestation, right? Because,
can you say it again?
Because in a sense, we create our entire reality. We create our entire experience of every moment. But manifestation is, we put it that way, manifestation is what it is that we are consciously bringing forth.
Yes. Because when you're passing by a tree, your eyes only can manifest a tree as a tree as an object, as a tree, if consciously you see that, not just because of the faculty of your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you said, like, tree does not exist. Does not mean that you did not see the tree. It means because you are not conscious of the tree.
Right.
So I hope
And
I'm right.
the real trippy thing about it, though, is that the tree does exist, but it does not exist as a tree.
In my consciousness.
It does not exist as a tree. The
Yes.
energy is there, but the energy only becomes what it is that we perceive it to be. And if we don't perceive it as anything, that energy is still there, but in a different plane or frequency than what we are at.
Very deep point. Absolutely brilliant. You have raised it here. And I love having this conversation with you. I'm feeling that you are like a prime minister or president of US. I'm feeling that we are having a global talk on how can we save the planet Earth or humans on this planet, right?
It's what we need.
I think we should create a Hollywood movie on that. I would definitely, post this conversation on a Facebook platform so that people should start making a video, right, on a conference. But anyways, yeah, jokes apart, I really, really admire what you have said. So now, relating to that point, I'm connecting some dot points on that.
Good.
The one of the thing which I read in Vedanta's teaching, that is non-duality, which I sent you some of the videos previously, and which was formed in New York Society of Vedanta in 1860. And it was done by one of the great leaders from India, like Sri Swami Vivekananda, right? And what he said, that there is no existence, there's nothing in the world unless you're not conscious of it. If it is not in your consciousness, it does not have any existence. Though what you said just a few minutes ago, though it has an existence, but it is not in your dimension. But how can you prove it? How can you prove that it has an existence being you are not conscious of it? Can you prove it?
Well,
we can't.
I don't know. They might be starting to prove that in quantum physics. Like I said, I don't know enough, but I know that they have done studies on quarks and prove that the quark will change its shape depending on being observed.
What is quark? Sorry.
It is a part of a atom.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep.
So
yes,
apparently, really weird. So you probably learned it the same way that atoms are just protons, neutrons, electrons, right? That's how we learned it in school. And then now they're like, no, it's actually quarks and other things, and that
molecules.
I think the quark, it makes up a proton. So like kids in elementary school are learning new stuff. But anyways, they did a study on a quark and found that the quark would basically be just energy when it was not being observed, that it would just be energy. And then depending on being observed, it would change its physical state. So I know that experiment, and that at least is proving that things only take on a physical shape when it's being observed. But I know that that is kind of old, so I don't know where they're going with that now. And since they've noticed that, I wouldn't find it too crazy that they could start to get actual evidence of the don't know what word you used it, but I know a word that people use for it is that this is a holographic universe because nothing is actually physical.
Yes, true. Yep. It's non-duality. It's non-existence. It's all hallucination. It's all illusionary.
Mm-hmm.
So you are being congested with the protons, neutrons, atoms, molecules, blah blah blah, chemicals, and you are there is an experiment conducted in quantum physics as well. There is no sound actually. There is nothing like a sound. There's no object like a sound. It's just a vibration.
Actually, I just remember too. Okay, so again, I don't know the science behind this, but you're saying, how do we prove it? There is also talk of us living in a simulation, and that all of this is a simulation, and that like in the Matrix movie, we're actually, tethered to this illusion that we're in, and that science has not proven this yet, but there's enough science backing the fact that we are in a simulation that it's more likely that we are than we're not, based on science.
We are actually, that we are not based on science. Yes, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, it's really deep. Sorry, sometime I couldn't sleep. Well, that's great. I love this talk, honest with you. But this Vedanta and all the stuff, I really like it. And Deepak Chopra is one of the greatest author, and he's a doctor. He's a physician, and I think he's in Boston, and he lives in maybe New York. I don't know where he lives, but he's not quantum physicist, but he's a alternative medicine. He's a physician, and he's he gives like alternative medicines to the people to heal, right? So he has written a lot of books. So I read a couple of his books, and some of the books I wanted to read for 4 times, 5 times, and times to understand. And he has written one of the book, You Are the Universe. I did show you one. I couldn't read it properly because it needs a lot of concentration and focus. Sometimes it goes over my head, like can't understand. I had to repeat it 4 times. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm scratching my brain to let it go into my mind. But it's so interesting, right? One day I'll share with you some of the Vedanta's teaching, that what they say, because they say on the spot experiments. They don't believe in speculation. They don't believe in belief system, or they don't tell you to believe anything, or they tell you a point-to-point experience that they tell you, do it now and you can feel it now, right? So they let you to experience the reality, and it's amazing. It's brilliant. They let you aware with the reality, right? That's why Deepak Chopra, one of his statement, I liked it. He said, like, we all are living in the hypnosis of social conditioning. Right?
Yeah.
And he said, your life is a manifestation of conscious modifications, is a spontaneous change, modification of behaviors and changes. Your life is like, whatever you're living right now is experience of modification of your consciousness, right? Of course, it is, like, your experience is the modification of your consciousness. And I've heard a very powerful statement from Eckhart Tolle. I was listening to one of his lecture. He said that most of the humans on this planet are the victim of their conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they are suffering.
Yeah.
They are the victim of their conditioned mind.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's just so powerful, isn't it?
Oh, it's really deep. Okay, so I know that you did say that you started reading Course in Miracles. Were you reading the main text or the workbook?
Actually, I'm reading from because I'm very excited to read it. Sometimes I jump into the like 50th page, or maybe go to the I actually, even it's my bad habit that I stop reading it once I feel disconnected. Well, though I'm not disconnecting it, I lose. I don't want to say I lose interest.
The drive.
Yes, I would say like I'll lose the drive. Actually, I feel tired sometimes. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. You know, when I feel overwhelmed, then I feel I maybe I need a different taste.
Well, I get that, because I was doing it every day and then I stopped too. But in the workbook, there is one of the exercises is to, okay. Well, I'm actually making videos now on each of the lessons, but so they kind of mesh together. But like, to start off, you're supposed to see everything and notice, okay, I don't know anything about this item. And then you're supposed to go with the thought of all of the meaning that this item has, I have put onto it. So like the microphone, if I see this microphone, all that I know of this microphone has come from conditioning, because it's coming from my past experiences, it's coming from what society has told me. But in the present moment, if I just look at the microphone and I put all of that aside, I don't know anything about this microphone. I don't know what the microphone does. I don't know, like, even if I'm saying, oh, it looks like crisp or some adjective you would use, you're pulling that from social concepts of what they tell you that word means, right?
Yeah.
So everything that we see and experience is coming from that conditioning. And I think that I mentioned this before about how us being in this matrix dream simulation, whatever you want to call it, that there is a level of control there over it. And so like there's intentional conditioning going on because they want us to be in that conditioning mindset so that we create a specific societal experience that they want us to be having, right? They don't want us to separate ourselves and come up with our own meaning and manifest.
Yeah. So technically, I would say that collective people's consciousness is driving us or leading us to somewhere where we feel that we are trapped, we are stuck.
Yes.
And we do not have a freedom to change it, right?
Yes. So see, you've been using the word control. We have control and we have our own freedom and we can create that, but they don't want us to know that. They want us to feel trapped and in fear and stuck and limited. Yeah.
Especially religious beliefs.
Yes.
That are more hallucinatory. And it's very dangerous. So when you have got a hallucination, that's okay, as long as it is not a belief. But once you have a hallucination, and on the top of that it is related with your spiritual belief, oh my God, you're gone. People can, chop your head. I've seen that. And it is, you want, like, you must not have, read the Indian history. Even like in European history, it is very common. I don't know about American history, but in ancient Indian history, everything what happened on this planet in that particular territory in India, just because of religion. Chopping off your heads, arms, fingers, nails, biting up your bodies, animals eating up, just a deadly bloodshed, just because of your religious beliefs, or because of your own desires and your stupid mindful manifestation of your acquiring more health, and lust and power and politics. I can't tell you, but the majority is religion. So nothing is more dreadful on this planet than a religion. I think it gives you more pain than a relief.
The problem with it is, so you said before, there's truth in it, but they take the truth and then mess with
and
it.
decorate with some fascinating their beliefs, then decorate with the cherry on the ice cream, and people look at the cherry only.
Yeah, so you look at the positive, you think, well, I want this. That speaks to you because it is a truth that resonates with you. And then you either ignore what doesn't resonate with you, or you don't realize that it's not resonating with you because you're so overwhelmed with what is. And that's how they trap you by saying, well, you believe this, so you need to act this way. And let's tell you these things, and let's create conflict between people because our way is the right way, because they want us to be in conflict.
Yes, because they would like to be stuff and firm into their belief system, and they don't want to be flexible. So I think every religion should be, first of all, flexible, rather than should be rigid. And I think that should be the first message to every religion, to give to every religious people, that whatever your acceptance is should be flexible. Like, it should not be, I am telling you this because this is, I have told you is right. So obviously you're right, because everyone who is spreading the religion has putting their own flavor into that, right? And they're labeling with their own tags. Oh, I have listened to from someone, it is just like, a kids like play the games, like they say something to their ears, and I don't know what's the game called. They say to one ears.
Oh, telephone.
And, like something like, with 10 group of kids, they say to one ear and they whisper into the another ear, and another one whisper. But if you listen to the 10th person a message, it's completely a different message. So I think this is the example of a religion. So it has lost its essence and true identity. So, but like, as a human being, you are a very pure, conscious soul on this planet, and you are dictating it, and you are doing one of the greatest contribution towards humanity, I would say. And it's a really good thing, Adriana. So understanding, awareness, contribution as being you have formed into a body, and then you have come here. You've got a great purpose here. So, but always thank you, Adriana.
Thank you.
I think you are the ocean in which I can dive with my little wisdom, and I can grab more from the deep. And what I experience, I can only share with you. It's my great privilege, Adriana, to have a very good connected I've lost the words. Connected essence, and I feel really relaxed and calm, and yeah, it gives me more clarity, you know, when even you talk and you experience and you explain that, and I feel like while explaining I'm getting more improved because I'm getting positive vibes. I think I and you are from the same one soul. Yeah, I think it's everyone is on the same soul, from the same consciousness. Your conditioning, yeah. But I'm grateful to you, Adriana. My words are limited to say thank you, but if I would be the master of the whole universe, I would let the universe to say thank you. So yeah, great talk. $1 million worth of $1 million.